welcome to Sprawl and Brawl. It is episode number 78. Number 78. It is oddly a Wednesday. We are airing on a weird day that we normally don't air on. It is December 13th. We will be back on Monday next week. I am Matt Steiner's over there. The shirt says relax.
Because I'm a ninja.
Oh, wow, I can't see that from here.
That's what it says, bitch.
I can only see the turtle and relax. So,
Yeah.
And if you're listening to us, you can't see anything. I don't know who's actually...
Gotta get those VODs. Gotta get the VODs.
Well, I mean, it's just us. Not doing anything anyways.
There's videos, there's weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally we'll play a video or two. Even though sometimes legally, we might not be able to, but I find a way to get around it.
Well, I don't but under fair use, we should be able to
under fair use, we should, but there's a lot of stuff under fair use you should be able to do on YouTube that you can't. So, you gotta be careful with it sometimes.
Just as long as we talk during it and talk about it, there's technically nothing they can do.
That's technically true, but I guess not. Especially when it comes to pay-per-views. I guess if it was just a TV event, it would be less egregious and they might come at us less. But with pay-per-views, they definitely... It's like, whoa, there's 2 seconds of a pay-per-view event right there. Get it the fuck off of there. Get it down. They always come at you. Anyways, do we start with the news or the results? What do we do?
I only watched the Swanson Ortega main event.
Okay, well, I'll talk about
everything else is
MMA real fast. So, TKO on Friday night in Quebec had their event, and they were actually giving out their championship belts for the very first time. They gave out five in one event. So it was 135, 265, 155, 185, and 145 were the belts that they gave out. The 135 was Jesse Arnett versus Dimitri Wadenberg. Jesse Arnett just steamrolled him in 1 minute and 44 seconds. A punch led to the ground, which led to a Darce choke. And then Adam Deichke defeated Bakary Setkow. Again, all the fights were super one-sided, and all the winners I was not surprised who came out on top, and it was Adam Ditchka with a KO via strikes. I wish I should have recorded this and had it on the show, but whatever. It was a one-punch KO. He just fell over on his face. It was done. Jesse Ronson made Derek Gauthier tap out via strikes in the first round, ground and pound. And then the co-main event so this fight was actually pretty good. Strahija Gavrilovic, he fought like three events ago. He was the guy who kept beating on the dude on the ground after the ref stopped the fight and then got DQ'd. So he won via TKO, but then lost via DQ. So he's a madman, and I was expecting this fight to be crazy, but it was okay. He lost against Marc-André Barrio, and it was mostly just Barrio trying to stay on the outside and land when Gavrilovic was stepping in, and he was doing a good job of fucking landing that jab over and over. And Gavrilovic landed, I would say, probably the most stronger punches, but he didn't land it too often. And then the main event I thought was going to be amazing. It was TJ Laramie versus Charles Jourdain. And their fights before this, both of them were amazing. As opposed to some of these other fights before for the titles where like one guy was heading into the fight with steam as opposed to both of them. These two guys I thought were really awesome heading into this fight. All their fights before this were really good. And then they got in there and it's pretty boring. They neutralized themselves out, and they didn't really do anything. They went on the ground mostly, and yeah, like, they didn't, like I was just expecting way more action in this fight, and it didn't really deliver. So that was TKO 41 in Quebec on Friday, and then Invicta also had an event on Friday. The fights that I did watch, though, were just the two co-main events. Mackenzie Dern making her Invicta FC debut. She's actually signed on like one of those UFC developmental deals where even if you don't fight with the UFC, you still make it's like $1,000 or $2,000 a fight from the UFC or something like that. So she's on that deal. I don't know how they exactly do it with her, but hey, she won her Invicta fight against Colleen Medeiros via submission armbar. It was a really good fight. She got punched in the face a lot, but she also delivered a lot of punches, which led to the submission armbar on the ground in the third, actually. So this is a good fight. And then the main event was whatever. Jennifer Maia retained her flyweight title against Nejdzwitz. I don't know how to say her last name. And then my favorite event of the whole weekend was Glory 49 Rotterdam or Glory Redemption, whatever the fuck this thing is called. It had 3 different names because there's Glory 49 Rotterdam, which was the prelims. Then you had the Super Fight Series, which was the prelims of the pay-per-view. Then you had the pay-per-view. They do that for pay-per-views. Usually the Super Fights are the prelims, and then the numbered event is the main card. But I don't know why they do that. Anyways, I didn't watch the TV prelims. I did watch some of the Super Fights. I guess I did see the head kick KO from the prelims because I saw the replay of it. The head kick was amazing. The Super Fights were all right. The thing about Glory is even when the fights go to a decision and the fights are not that great, like it's still fun because it's still dudes just fucking swinging all their 4 limbs at each other. And it's I feel like it's less clinching than boxing, but it's still a lot of clinching. But fuck, man. Okay, so the pay-per-view was fucking amazing. It started off with a head kick KO, which that one was even better than the prelim one. I wish I slacked off on getting the Glory stuff, except for the main event. But the pay-per-view was amazing. Holy shit. All the fights, man, were so fucking amazing. So it was Petch is his nickname, I guess. Is that his nickname? But yeah, Petch is he's a world-renowned Muay Thai fighter. I wonder how many Glory fights he's had. This is his 3rd Glory fight. So, oh no, he's fought a Glory a few times. It's like 6 times maybe. So yeah, he's fought in Pride a few times. I've seen him in Lion fights. He's awesome. And that head kick KO, man. If you look it up right now on Google, just Glory Redemption head kick KO, it'll come up. The next fight, another featherweight fight between Meili Sugden and Chenlong Zhang. Yeah, the Asians do really well in Muay Thai and kickboxing. So, but he actually lost. Chenlong did, and this fight was pretty good, but it just got overshadowed by all the other fights. Daniel Alunga versus Michael Dutt. This was a come from behind win. Michael Dutt was actually winning the whole fight, and then Daniel just KO'd him with a 1-punch KO, and the ref actually ended it with just that 1 KO. It was so brutal. The ref just knew it was over. And then, oh my God, the main event. The main event is definitely my fight of the weekend, and it might actually be one of my fights of the year, to be honest, because this fight was fucking amazing. It was Rico Verhoeven versus Jamil Ben Sadiq, and I have the footage of the end here for this one. Yeah, it was amazing how it went. The first round, Jamal Ben Sadiq just destroyed Rico. I would say the whole fight he was landing the more vicious punches, I would say. So yeah, so if you don't know how kickboxing works, it's 5 rounds of 3 minutes each. So that's for the championship fights. It's 3 rounds for the regular fights. So it went the whole 5 rounds, and then it got to the 5th round, and Jamal just got tired, and that's what Rico Verhoeven is known for. Is yeah, sure, he can punch and kick you a lot and hurt you very badly, but he can go the distance, and he can do it for forever. He could probably do this for 12 rounds if he wanted to. And yeah, it just got to that point where Jamal could literally not defend himself. His hands were just down. He was just getting punched and kicked in the head, and it was over. I honestly feel that the ref should have stopped it the first time he stopped it, because he counted the 8 count, the standing 8 count in the corner, And it was very clear that he was out of it. He was not able to take any more damage after that. But he took more. He definitely took more. But, oh, dude, this fight was amazing. If you can track this down, Rico Verhoeven versus Jamal Ben Sadiq at Glory Redemption. Easily my fight of the weekend. It was fucking amazing. Oh, the whole 5 rounds were it was so good. And then Rico Verhoeven actually challenged Badur Hara. Jeez, it's a weird name to say. Badur Hara. And those two guys actually met before. And Rico actually won because of Badur broke his arm, I believe, or something like that in the second round. So he couldn't continue. And a lot of people think that Badur could actually beat him. So that Badur Hari fight would be fucking amazing. They just signed him back to Glory. I think he was like a Bellator or K1 or some shit. I don't remember what he was doing, but that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that fight to happen. It's going to happen in 2018. It's going to be dope. That's all I can say about it. All right, let's go on to talk about UFC Fight Night. Swanson versus Ortega, which is the one card you watched this weekend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
I only watched the main event because...
Only the main event? Oh, jeez.
Oh, no, sorry, the main card.
Okay.
Main card.
I only watched the TV prelims. I didn't have time to watch the Fight Pass prelims. I guess the only thing there was a KO via punches. I didn't see that one. Trevin Giles defeated Antonia Braga Neto in the third round with punches. And then Davi Ramos defeated Chris Gutzmacher with a rear naked choke 50 seconds into the third. And then Alejandro Perez defeated Yuri Alcantara, unanimous decision. That's interesting. I actually think I did watch that fight now that I think about it. I might have just caught the end. I was surprised by the outcome. I was expecting Yuri to win that one, but hey. All right. And then the TV prelims started with Frankie Zions versus Marib Zvalish.
Wow. Okay, that's a fucking name.
I don't know what to say about this fight. It was okay.
Yeah.
Alex Perez versus Carl's John the Thomas. So this fight was amazing because the Thomas was probably winning the fight. He was landing the most substantial punches. They knocked each other down a lot in the first round. I think they know. Do you have the numbers in front of you?
Knockdowns
in the first round between Alex Perez and.
It's saying 0-0.
Okay, maybe it wasn't this fight. It was the next fight. It was the next fight.
Takedowns.
It was the next fight. I don't think
Mirab has 11 takedowns.
So this fight was awesome because the Thomas probably won the first round, and then Alex Perez won the second and actually got an anaconda choke. So that was cool. Andre Sukumtot versus Luke Sanders. This is the fight I was thinking of. They knocked each other down a few times in the first round.
It's saying knockdowns is just one for...
Just one? I thought for sure it was at least 2 for one of the
these are just the numbers on the UFC website. And I was in the second round.
Oh, the second. Okay. Well, the second round, there was a knockdown by Andre Sukumtot. He was behind. He was losing the first round for sure. Luke Sanders was just...
yes.
He was just jabbing him in the face a lot in the first round. And he was doing that in the second. But I think he just got too confident and too cocky. And Andre Sukumtot just landed a one punch on him. He landed on... Well, it was more than one punch, I guess. It was like a combination. And then he landed on his face. And while he was on his face, dude was like on top of him, punching him in his face while his face was on the ground. And then the ref stopped it. And the second the ref stopped it, Luke stood up and he was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm just like, dude, you were on your face on the ground. Like, that's not intelligently defending yourself.
He can keep punching you, or the ref can stop the fight. I think the ref should stop the fight because you're not.
I saw a lot of people pissed that it was stopped, quote unquote, early, but it wasn't stopped early. Like, dude, just
the ref was there
not
to
intelligently defending himself.
Yeah.
Like, he was on his face on the ground. And Alexis Davis versus Elise Carmouche. Boring fight. It was on the ground. That's kind of what I was expecting out of these two, I guess, because Alexis Davis likes to take down people. I was expecting Carmouche to be able to get out of it, and that's pretty much what happened. And when it was on the feet, I guess I would give a slight advantage to Carmouche. The third round probably went to Carmouche.
Yeah, there was a lot of strikes thrown, but nothing significant.
Really, it was a boring fight. It was a boring fight. The first 2 rounds went to...
Carmouche was 100% for takedowns, 4-4.
Oh, all right. Well,
Davis was 1 of 3. Now, not to say that she didn't reverse some of those takedowns.
Oh, she definitely got reversed a few times, yes.
Because there was 2 submission attempts for Davis.
Oh, the first 2 rounds was all Davis. It was all Davis. Like, maybe Carmouche got it to the ground, but once it got to the ground, like, she didn't do
Davis
anything.
just reversed it.
Yeah. So that was the main event of the prelims. And then the main card started with Benito Lopez versus Albert Morales. I thought this fight was a pretty good fight. Benito Lopez.
Yeah, this fight was pretty good.
Lopez is coming off of the Wednesday night contenders. What night was that? When Dana White
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Benito Lopez looked really good in this fight, I thought.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, he seemed to get tired in the second and then came back in the third really strong.
Yeah. Out of all of the dudes that's fought from that show so far, I think that he's my favorite one. A lot of people touted that.
No, I'm thinking of last week's fights. I'm thinking.
No, this is the dude with the split hair. He had half blonde, half black.
Yeah.
And he looked really good. This was a good debut for him. He punched him a lot. I thought it was 30-27, but I guess 2 judges thought it was 29-28. But I thought it was pretty one-sided. The first round was all right, but and then Eric Anders versus Marcus Perez. Perez actually bit Eric Anders' fingers in the first round, and I saw a lot of people saying like, "Well, Anders shouldn't have had his fingers in his mouth." And dude, it was during a takedown attempt. He didn't do that shit on purpose. Get the fuck out.
He even twisted in and. Like you saw, his head was out like this, and then he twisted like this, and then he started yelling. Like the guy up against the fence started yelling. So he twisted his head, and so he like, what the?
You don't accidentally bite somebody. That's not a thing that happens.
But yeah, it was because it happened, and then Eric just then like started yelling, going on. It was like, was it joint manipulation, or was it like what the fuck happened? And then the doctor came in or whatever, and he's like, what happened? He bit me.
We're confusing fights.
Read his lips.
We're confusing fights. Sorry. That was actually Jason Knight that did that to Gabriel.
In
the co-main event. In the co-main event,
right.
Yeah. I guess I just got the Brazilian names mixed up. Benitez and Perez.
Yeah.
No, I don't even remember Eric Sanders and Perez now that I think about it. So there you go.
By the scorecard, it was an ass whooping because there was a 30-25 there.
Yeah. Yes. I guess that's what I was gonna say is that the 29-28 is fucked up. Where the fuck did that score come from?
Yeah, because you got a 30-26 and a 30-25 and then a 29-28. I don't.
I guess I kind of do remember this fight, but I guess that's why I kind of tuned out because it was so much of an ass whooping. But
I don't see on how Perez won a single round from these numbers. There's no way in hell. He got doubled every round.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he did get a takedown. He got 2 takedowns in the first.
So maybe he stole the first, but who knows?
Yeah, but 16 significant strikes to 8 significant strikes. So and control time, he was on control for 45 seconds. So he was reversed.
Hey man, that's almost 1/5 of the round, dude.
Yeah, but he was reversed because Eric got freaking 2 minutes of control in the first round. So he was reversed just because he got taken down.
Well, then we don't know what round he won then. It's a mystery.
I don't think he won a round.
Well, no, of course he didn't, but he did, according to one judge. Scott Holtzman defeated Daryl Horcher, unanimous decision, 30-27. Another one-sided fight. That's all I gotta say about it.
I don't really remember this fight. There was a couple of fights that
that's the thing.
Pushed over because they were not. Yeah. Okay. I remember fast forwarding this. fight because he just pretty much sat on top of him. And
well, that's the thing I was going to say is that the main card started off with such a good fight. Is that the next two fights were so that I kind of forgot them. But the next fight after that, holy mother of God.
It was all of like a minute.
Holy mother of God.
Jesus Christ. I think Sterling might be dead.
Well, so here's the thing.
He wasn't moving for quite some time.
No, so here's the thing. He might be dead, but we don't know because the UFC didn't tell us. They didn't say anything. It's just like even Mariah's after the fight, he's just like, I'm so worried. I hope he's okay. And they never showed him, which is fine. You don't need to show us. I don't have a problem with that. But say afterwards, hey, he got up, he went to the hospital, he's getting checked out. Yeah. He might be fine. Yes. But he did get up from his own volition, so that's a good sign. At least say something. Yes, he did.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know he did. I thought he was dead. I thought he was carried off in a
I think that they did. I think they did stretcher him out just for precautionary reasons. But like he was up and walking, like he walked to the hospital.
But dude, he was out.
Oh, dude, yes.
And the knee. He was gonna go throw a leg kick.
Yes, it was a leg kick.
And then he's like, "Oh shit, he's coming in!" Throws up the knee and just probably crushed his jaw and broke his jaw. Like he was like, "Holy fuck!" Because he was coming in and he saw it coming in and he threw out the knee.
When you look at it, even in real time, it looks like the takedown from Sterling is like in slow motion.
Yeah,
he just telegraphed it so bad.
That was the correct view, but that was not the view that you saw real time. In the real time, it was on the opposite side. So I thought he just threw a kick and then Sterling dropped. Then they show you from the other side, and it was just knee to jaw. Oh my, damn.
Yeah. But man, Aljamain he telegraphed that fucking takedown so bad.
Oh yeah.
So bad.
But just how fast Moronic, like to see that coming in and to be able to change it to a knee that quickly, that motherfucker is fast.
So a lot of people were also saying that Aljamain Sterling was dabbing when he was knocked out, which is that's pretty funny. I mean, and he had a pretty.
I think he was actually dabbing as he was walking into the ring, though, too. Was he not?
I think so. I think that's why people were laughing about it. Because they were saying he did it in and out of the ring. Yeah. Because that's the thing. Like when you see him knocked out, he is out. Like his arms are stiff.
Yeah. No.
Usually it's the legs that are stiff. Yep. His arms are gone.
His toes were hard. Like his leg is literally in the air. And it was. Like his body's on the ground, but his legs in the air, stuck in the air.
It was a crazy KO, man.
Holy shit.
It was a goddamn crazy KO.
Yep.
And then Gabriel Benitez and Jason Knight, we touched upon that bite there. I mean, Jason Knight did okay in the first round, but then everything after that, like it seemed like a different dude. Gabriel Benitez
he seemed exhausted. After the first round. And Like, I don't know if
there's a judge that gave it 29-27. What the fuck is this? Is this the same judge that gave 29-28? Like,
I don't know.
Who the fuck gave Knight a round?
The first round may have been a 9 because of the point.
9-9 maybe, but no, that first round was 10-8. Like that first round was 10-8, easy.
Because of the point deduction, you mean?
Oh yeah.
I would agree, probably, but. I don't like.
Yeah, they were all 10-9 rounds, except for that point deduction.
Yeah, the point deduction. Yeah.
So I don't fucking get how that judge gave it.
It may have been the same judge.
Probably. He probably sees something that we don't see, and who knows? We could be wrong. Maybe that's what he's getting taught, and he's right, and we're the ones that are wrong.
I don't think so. But.
And then the main event, pretty good fight. I thought the first round was pretty competitive. It ended with Brian Ortega getting a was it an anaconda choke?
Yeah,
it was an anaconda.
No, guillotine. The first round was an anaconda. He jumped.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I said first round.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So the first round I said was very competitive until the end, which would have been over if it would.
Ortega just grabbed him and started choking him the fuck out. And if the round was 10 seconds longer, Swanson would have been unconscious.
Oh, 100%. Because you saw his face. He was freaking out. But you saw that Ortega also knew that it was the end of the round, so he didn't put everything into it.
No.
So it was an interesting end of the round, that's for sure. You were like, oh, shit.
Like that just indicated Swanson has some major gaps in his game, like just to the point that Ortega could just grab him like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would say yes and no. I would
say
say yes
from
and no.
like he just grabbed him and then like he did it from standing position.
Yeah, and same with the guillotine choke at the end. It was
well, he jumped guard. He jumped guard.
Well, he jumped guard, but like everything about that guillotine choke, like, he pushed off the cage to get into the guard. There was so much of that choke that was just crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he defeated him with a guillotine choke at the end.
Yeah.
Cub did not look that great in this fight.
No. Like, he didn't look bad. Like, his striking looked fine, but as soon as it went to grappling, Jesus Christ, he just looked like he was a white belt, or like he was nothing. And like he just got grabbed and then he was choked and there was nothing he could do.
So Ortega, after the fight, he was talking with Dana White. He wasn't even talking about his next opponent. He was talking about charity opportunities and doing good stuff for people. And after the fight, he even said, like, I don't want to step in front of Frankie Edgar. If I have to wait, I'll just wait. So it was a pretty good post fight interview by Ortega. I thought.
Well, Ortega versus Holloway would be a very interesting fight. Now the thing is, I don't know what the fuck Edgar. Like, he had a broken face. I don't like coming back from that is sometimes not.
Oh yeah, it was orbital.
Really,
that's right.
Yeah. So it is just if he gets back into sparring and he like, especially with the way Edgar fights, he puts his face into it.
Well, I heard him on the MMA Hour last week, and he said that he's like, what was it, Edgar? Oh, I might be thinking about somebody else. He said that he was injured, but he was still lightly sparring. I'm just like, what are you doing? To fucking take a break. Just literally take a 1 week break. Like, just 1 week. I have no problem with you riding a bicycle or, doing some cardio and shit. But my God, lay off the fucking rolling around for a second. Because that's when your face is going to get fucked up. You accidentally roll around and just fall a wrong way, or your opponent falls on you the wrong way, you're fucked. Anyways, yeah, that was a good event, I thought. In terms of the numbers, it was actually the most watched UFC since Rockhold versus Branch, which happened in September. It did 870,000 viewers average, and it peaked during Albert Morales and Benito Lopez at 1.037 million. So that was the actually the opener of the main card. And there was no football, no nothing going against it. So that's interesting. Yeah. That was the peak. And actually, on Fox Sports Go and Fox Now, which is a streaming service, it averaged 11,000 viewers. So, that's people that still have TV. Because I don't think you can pay for Fox Sports Go separate.
Highly doubtful.
But. And then I also watched Bellator 190, which happened from Italy. I don't have too much to say, except I do have video of the few things I do want to talk about. So, Brandon Gertz KO'd Luka Jelsic, or Jelsic. I don't know how to say his name. I'm just going to pretend that I said it right and go on to the video. It was a 1 minute, 57 second KO. Punches. One punch led to him backing up into the cage, and then he got punched a few more times, and then he fell over, got punched on the ground one more time, I believe. And oh no, this is a different fight, I believe. I'm thinking about the main event. This is the co-main event. That's right. Dude was out though. He was fighting the ref after the fact. Like, he was gone. He was gone. So it's all right. It happened in Italy, so it wasn't live. That's what I don't like about the international Bellator cards, is that you don't watch them live. So that's why I watched UFC and I didn't even bother with Bellator. I just watched it after the fact. So a good little KO there that happened. But then the main event, it was Rafael Calvallo versus Alessio Sakara. And the real problem with this is Alessio Sakara is not really ready for any title or any world title. He might be ready for, a regional Italy title or something, but not Bellator. And this ended in 44 seconds via KO, elbow, and punches. So the elbow was pretty bad. So that's what I was thinking of. The elbow backed him up onto the cage, and then he got punched a few times on the cage, and then he fell onto his face, and then I believe he got punched on the ground one more time before the ref stopped it. Ref could have ended it way earlier, but what can you do? Because that one elbow, I guess the elbow was deceiving because Alessio had like a delayed reaction to the elbow, but it clearly hurt him very badly. So that happened. That was Bellator 190 from Italy.
Yeah, that is very like a championship fight being 44 seconds is really interesting.
Well, I mean, there's been less.
Yeah, no, for like in heavyweights or whatever, fair enough or whatever. But
no, not even heavyweight. Aldo.
Yeah, but Aldo just put his face into it. Like that was.
If you want to say that, I think you're just discounting Conor McGregor now. Jeez.
Not so much. But.
Should call up Conor McGregor. Hey, this guy's talking shit about you on the internet. Jeez, what are you going to do about it?
Go for it.
You should do something about it, McGregor. This guy doesn't even have Twitter. He's going to have to come and see you face to face. He has the money.
Go for it.
He has the money. Just use his yacht. Sail across, and then no, that wouldn't work. That would be a lot of sailing. Since you're not anywhere near any of the coasts.
No.
He could come into like the Great Lakes, go up to like I don't know,
then be
like
stopped.
Thunder Bay, and then drive up to Calgary.
Sure. Wouldn't make more sense just to fly, but hey.
No, he's got to spend the most money possible, man. Go with your yacht with your 10 employees on it.
Okay.
What? He's got to have all the food prepared. There's a bartender. There's the pilot, the co-pilot. What else do you need on a? You know, I'm not gonna clean those. I'm not gonna clean anything. Everybody's gonna clean it. You know, so yeah, costs a lot to have a yacht. All right,
so
talk about
Stipe is slated to defend his heavyweight belt against Francis Ngannou.
Yes, at UFC 220, and that's in Boston, I believe, in February.
Boston.
That's going to be a fucking amazing
got some beans
fight.
in Boston.
And there's already a good fight on that card. DC's fighting on that card.
Against who?
What's his name? He just... Ozdemir. Ozdemir? No time Ozdemir?
Wasn't he arrested?
Yes, but
That's what I'm
it was a bar thing.
about.
It was a bar thing that's not proved. It's it's not domestic violence. The UFC doesn't care. The UFC doesn't care. He punched a dude in the face that probably deserved it. And if the courts prove otherwise, then I'm sure that the UFC will not be happy about it. But it's not domestic violence. Let's say that. There was a WWE dude this week. He was arrested for domestic something. He was arguing with his girlfriend from a trip back from the theater or something, and she got out of the car, and he got out of the car, and they were arguing some more, and he grabbed her and put her back in the car. That's funny. That's funny to me because it doesn't seem that bad. It's not like he punched her or anything. Kamaru Usman versus Emil Meek rescheduled for UFC 220. So that's another UFC 220 fight to look forward to because those are two dudes that can fucking knock out some motherfuckers. And they're fighting each other. So who knows what's going to happen in that fight. I'm assuming a KO. GSP dropped the middleweight title this week. That's news, I guess, that happened that we kind of forgot about.
Well, I think it happened like Monday or Tuesday last week.
I think it was Tuesday. So Whitaker is now the undisputed champ, and he will face a Rockhold at UFC 221.
Okay, now I don't like the point that they just handed the undisputed.
But why not? They do that all the time. With
I know, but it's still like this fight will be for the undisputed. Is how it should be.
No, they did that with Ronda. Here, just with her, it was like actually like a fake belt. It wasn't even an interim to a real. It was a nothing to a fake belt. You know.
Yeah.
At least this is an interim to a fake. All right, I have no problem with it.
Why is it? Yeah.
And with the
like
Rockhold
he won
fight,
the interim, so he should be.
The Rockhold fight is fucking amazing. That's the best fight that they can make for that division right now.
Yeah, but like, just Rockhold's talking so much shit. Like he talks so much shit about Bisping, he got knocked the fuck out, and he was talking shit about.
So okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But here's the difference between the shit talking. With the Bisping shit talking, it was super emotional. With this, I feel like he's back to just being Rockhold dick. You know, I don't know.
No, what he was talking about GSP. Or
yeah, with GSP,
just in general,
with GSP and Whitaker, I don't think that it's necessarily shit talking. It's just Rockhold throwing his.
No, he was shit talking GSP, saying that.
Yes, but again, it's not like with Bisping. I don't think like it was way more. You know, it was delivered in a calmer way, in a more in a calmer way is how I'll say it. With Bisping, you could tell that there was emotion behind what he was saying.
You know, but like, I'm just like, GSP choked out the guy that knocked him the fuck out. He's talking shit about the guy who's at that time was champion.
Well, to be honest, Rockhold would probably beat GSP. He's a worse matchup.
I would say GSP is a better striker than Bisping, and Bisping knocked out Rockhold. So how does that logic?
I don't think GSP.
I'm not saying he would automatically lose or automatically win.
I don't think GSP is rocking out Rockhold at all. I don't think that's happening. So he would have to knock him down and get a submission. And Rockhold is way better on the ground than fucking Bisping. So I don't know. That fight is way more interesting to me than the Bisping fight, anyways.
Yeah, no, agree. No, I would think it would be a really good fight. And especially if GSP's claims are true, which I don't see why they wouldn't be about his whole colitis thing. Dude, he was really fucking sick, and he.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Look, I think Rockhold is just being a dick and not acknowledging anything in this case. Instead of being like passive, like passionately aggressive towards somebody, he's just like, you know, this is just him, just being him. with Bisping,
I would agree with that.
You could tell that it was not exactly him. He was super cocky.
Him being that arrogant is just.
But he's always that way. Yeah,
but then he gets knocked the fuck out. I guess it's the same thing with McGregor.
That only happened once.
What do you mean, freaking? Fuck. What's his name? Wheel kicked him unconscious.
Was that juiced in the UFC?
Out Belfort.
That was in the UFC?
Yeah. Knocked the fuck... he was juiced out Belfort, fair enough, but he knocked him the fuck out.
Okay, well, there you go.
So, yes, Rockhold's a good fighter, but he talks so much shit, and he's been knocked out and hurt many times, so I don't get
I don't have an issue with his shit talking, whatever. I think it has a lot to do with his team. All of his team does that shit.
Wow.
DC might be the one that does it the less.
Yeah. Well, Kane doesn't really say much.
Well, Kane never talks, so. Kane.
But DC tries doing whatever. And
here's my impression of Kane.
Fuck out.
Here's my impression of Kane. I like to fight. I'm the best fighter. Oh, my back hurts, guys.
Yeah. Man, my back really hurts. I want to fight, but my back really hurts.
Somebody who really wants to fight would just fight. And just say, fuck my back. But, whatever. Times have changed. It's 2017. There was another boxing fight that happened too this weekend. Vasily Lomachenko defeated Guillermo Rigondeaux at the theater at Madison Square Garden. It did 1.73 million viewers. And the fight was actually okay, but it was so one-sided that I'm glad it ended in the 7th round. Rigondeaux just did not step out of the corner, and he said he broke his hand. Which fine, sure, but the reason he did not keep fighting is because he was getting killed. Killed the whole 7 rounds. He was just getting killed. So, whatever. Sure, the ref should have probably ended it at some point, anyways. It was the second best watched boxing event of the year on basic cable. So that's all right.
That many people watch fucking boxing.
Yeah, man, especially when it's two dudes like this. These are two former Olympians that have won. They each won a separate year. And then it's the first time that two Olympians are fighting each other in like a pro fight like this for belts, and like it's like a legit fight. And the only thing is Rigaudot is smaller than Lomachenko, and that's probably what did it too. But at the same time, though, like he just seems slower the whole time, which a smaller dude would theoretically be faster. So, anyways, it was a good fight. And then also this morning, Jeremy Horn, not Jeremy, what's his fucking first name? Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn defeated Corcoran in 12 rounds. It was okay. Corcoran, oh no, I did go to 12 rounds, but the ref ended it. That's right. Corcoran's left eye looked pretty bad, and he had a very bad cut in his eyebrow. It pretty much went the whole fucking brow by the end of the fight, so the ref just ended it. And yeah, it was all right. It was a good fight. Good stoppage. No complaints. Fuck. Horn versus Pacquiao fight still pisses me off. Horn did not win that fight. I do not give a shit what any boxing expert or boxing analyst thinks. Man, Horn did not win that first fight. That's some bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. But Pacquiao, whatever. Pacquiao can lose. He's not invincible. I know that he loses pretty often. So yeah, that's it. What's this weekend? The UFC on Fox from Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess this was in the news too. Is it Edmonton has no fighting events for 2018 due to the Tim Hague investigation into his death? They determined that they will not allow any fights to happen in the next year in Edmonton specifically, which is interesting. I didn't realize that Canada, each city has its own commission, which is totally weird. All right, but this weekend, the event, pretty sick event on paper. Robbie Lawler versus Rafael Dos Anjos. That's a good fight for sure. Can't hype that fight any more than it already is. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Mike Perry. I think that fight should be the co-main event. But I guess Ricardo Lamas and Aldo was supposed to be
there, yeah. So it's
Joshua Emmett, I think he's just going to get destroyed. But man, Ponzinibbio and Perry, I don't know what to think about that fight. Because Perry is very good on the feet. But so is Ponzinibbio. Man, if you look at their records, this could end up in a KO or TKO. This is... I would say bet on a KO on this fight, and you might win some money. And then Glover Teixeira versus Misha Cirkunov. That's another one that I would probably bet against Glover.
Yeah, I would. And
I think Glover might be the favorite. No, he's the dog. He's the dog. So, then don't bet this fight. Don't bet this fight. Do not bet this fight. Unless you want to parlay it and you're very confident that Cirkunov's going to win or Teixeira, whatever. I would parlay this fight. I would not just bet on this one fight alone. And then the prelims on the television has Jan Blachowicz versus Jared Cannonier. That's a good fight to look forward to. That's another one that's very likely to end in a KO. John Makdessi versus Abel Trujillo. John Makdessi, isn't he coming off of a KO victory? That's right. Lando Veneta wheel kicked him in the head. The last fight. So I don't know how well he's going to do against Trujillo, because Trujillo is a powerful mother effer.
Yeah.
Like, if he gets you on the ground, you're done. And he can also punch you in the face and make it hurt a lot. So I don't think that this is a good fight for Makdessi. I really don't think it is. Probably shouldn't have taken this fight. And I'm only in his side because he's Canadian. So probably take your fights better, I guess. Who he fights under TriStar? Who is TriStar also representation? Who is his representation?
I don't know.
Yeah, man, I wish he had better dudes with him who would tell him, no, don't fucking take that fight. If he beats Trujillo, that looks good. That looks good for him. But my God, and then the first fight of
Trujillo's coming off of a loss to James Vick.
Yeah, but so is McDessie, and McDessie's loss was fucking brutal. That loss was bad. James Vick, I remember that fight. It was not that. Oh, February, man, that seems like not.
Yep.
Not a Korean zombie. And no, I remember James Vick. He fought like 3 times this year, and I think all his fights were submissions. Oh no, TKO is 2. So he's fought 3 times this year. Submission, TKO, TKO. So I knew he had finishes in all his fights, but I thought it was chokes. And Alessio Di Chirico versus Aluwa Bombaze is the first fight of the TV prelims. I also think this fight is going to end in a KO. So on paper, I think this has the potential to be an exciting night of fights. Like even Jordan Mean and Eric Silva on the UFC Fight Pass prelims, and Nordine Taleb versus Danny Roberts. Like those are all dudes that I know by name. Usually that doesn't happen in the Fight Pass prelims. There's always dudes that I'm just like, I don't know who that dude is, but I will watch it anyways. I know who all these dudes are. And again, these could all end with KOs and submissions, man. Taleb can get KO'd. He's not that strong. I don't think he's that I don't want to say strong because he is strong. But he has a weak chin. I don't think he's that strong of a chin. But he defends very nice. I like Taleb.
Yeah.
So
this is at 170, so he might be able to take a little bit more punishment, assuming he can do a good weight cut.
Mm-hmm. So
he's a big dude for 170. Wow.
I think all of these fights on paper look very good. It's just if they're going to deliver or not.
Mm.
And I don't say that often about a card, especially one that's not a pay-per-view. Usually I reserve that for pay-per-views. It's pretty easy to say that about 217. But say that about UFC on Fox Winnipeg. I think that whole card is going to be fucking amazing. I could be wrong. But just looking at it, man, I expect at least I'm gonna lay this on the table. I expect at least 5 KOs and 2 submissions. How about that? So we'll just say
sure.
I expect at least 7 finishes in this event. At least 7. So I'm not saying get hype or anything, but my God, I never think that of any card. I never look at a card and go like, oh, she's going to get choked out. Oh, he's going to get knocked out. Oh, she's going to get choked out. Oh, he's going to get armbarred. Like, I never think that about any event. And this is the one. This is the one. Like all of the fights I can go like, oh, this is probably going to end in something.
And then nothing ends up happening.
But that's one of the reasons why I don't vocalize it. But this one I actually do 100% believe that is going to be awesome. Like Dos Anjos, I think he's going to get KO'd. That's just me.
It depends on if you can take him down or not.
I guess so.
I don't think his striking is anywhere good enough.
Because if he goes to the ground, I don't. Do you think he can sub him or anything?
No, he'll just sit on top of him.
Then that's going to be boring. I don't want that.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. Lawler's pretty good though. Lawler's pretty good on the ground. I think he could get up and reverse and defend it pretty good.
I'm not saying no, but if DeSanto just holds on to him like a motherfucker and tries to hump him, it's very hard to get up and it's very tiring.
It's been a while since I've actually seen Dos Anjos be super amazing in the cage. So who knows? Maybe he'll flip back to his former self. Because since Eddie Alvarez and Tony Ferguson, I have not seen anything from Dos Anjos.
That Ferguson fight, I'll give to Sanders, like it was in Mexico City, so he got really, really fucking exhausted. And because you're at 7.5 or 8,000 feet or something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm. But still, I still think that he's not where he was before.
Yeah, it might have something to do with when it was. Because again, like he didn't look like he was a murderer since USADA came in.
I suppose so.
So
I still would not want to deal with him face to face.
No, but like the thing, like what he did to Pettis, what he did to Cerrone, was back in 2015. So,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that Robbie Lawler is gonna KO him to hell. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. And if it gets to the ground, I don't know. I don't know if Dos Anjos can actually hold down Lawler. That's my only thing. Can he take him down? Yes.
Can he? No. Okay, if he can get him down in the middle of the cage, while it'll be on point. The only way it was 5 rounds. Okay. I don't know.
And I don't see Lawler getting that tired. So if it goes 5,
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's not going to just be he won't be able to just sit on him. Get over the 5 rounds. Lawler just won't.
Yeah, well, he sets to the feet every round, so
Yeah, and I think that'll be enough for Lawler to be able to do something enough to knock him the fuck out.
And Lamas and Josh Emmett, like this is a weird fight because I would say Lamas would probably win via some kind of finish, but at the same time, like how prepared is he for him? Has he watched that much footage on him? I don't even know him that well, so like I really don't know his level.
Yeah, I highly doubt he's top 5 of the division. So
yes, and I like Lamas a lot, so I'm not going to pick against him. That's for sure. But is this going to be a finish? I don't know. This is the one fight in the whole card, and I'm like, I don't know. But the other ones, like Tim Elliott versus Pietro Manga, like I don't know who that guy is. I'm just gonna say Tim is probably gonna finish him. And Chad Laprise and Galore Buffondo, I know who Galore is. He's actually pretty okay. So that's a pretty good fight too. And Chad usually shows up and fights, so that's at least gonna be an interesting fight if it doesn't go to a finish. Because I feel like Chad is usually always the smaller dude of the two as well. Let's see. This guy, it doesn't even tell me how fucking tall he is. No stats on his height. His last fight, he beat Charlie Ward with a KO via slam at Nelson versus Ponzinibbio in July. So that's Galore Buffondo's last fight. And yeah, Chad. I don't know. Chad's all right. This seems like it's a striker versus a ground dude. And we know how that can go. To shit. When that happens, when you just get that matchup where they just neutralize each other on the ground and nothing fucking happens. It could be one of those, but I don't see that happening. And it's in Winnipeg. That's the thing. Canadians, when they fight in Canada, usually they go all out. It's very, very rarely do I see a Canadian fighting in Canada and it's boring. So yeah, that'll do it for the show, I believe.
Yeah, I would think so.
There's that event left for UFC, and then there's the one pay-per-view, right? Yeah, Cyborg and Home. I like that. I like that
That
poster.
as a pay-per-view just seems horrible.
The pay-per-view seems horrible?
Yeah.
I guess. For a pay-per-view, yeah.
Yes. Like if this was a free TV event or whatever, okay, no, that's what we'll book for.
Yeah, Carlos Condit on free TV. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I got
Khabib Nurmagomedov on free TV. Fucking any day.
Yeah.
I'll watch him slam some fools any day for free.
But as a pay-per-view, to spend $60 on this or whatever, like that's a lot of money for 2 fights.
Yep. And 2 fights that aren't even that super
because
amazing.
like even Rivia and Lineker, I don't care too much about. And the way Lineker fights, his career is gonna be so fucking like short.
I think the fight of the night's probably gonna be, I said this earlier, Kamaru Usman versus Emil Weber Meek. I think that fight is gonna be off the fucking wall. And if Khalil Roundtree was still fighting Gokhan Saki, that would be my fight of the night, but Saki's injured. So that's not gonna happen. Yeah. Not too much more happening until the end of the year. There's the Ryzen card at the end of the year with their, I think...
Is the tournament starting or no?
Was it featherweight tournament? I forget what the... It was featherweight, right?
I don't...
Well, because what's his name?
I remember they were talking about a tournament, but...
Oh, no, it was... what's above featherweight?
Lightweight.
Oh, okay.
Bantamweight.
Okay, yeah, I think it's bantamweight. Because what's his name is fighting in it. Dudu fought in the tournament for the first flyweight title.
The American?
Yeah. I was thinking about flyweight, not featherweight. Uncle Creepy. Uncle Creepy.
Creepy.
What's his name? Well, I figured out his nickname. There you go. We know his name. Because he's fighting in that tournament.
That'd be flyweight.
Yeah, but it's a weight above. It's above
135.
It's above flyweight. It's one above flyweight. Whatever that is.
That'd be bantamweight. There's no way in hell he would fight at 145.
I don't know. He's definitely
I guess it
fighting.
is rising. It is rising.
He's fighting above whatever the hell he is normally.
Because he was flyweight in UFC, so he was 125. You're saying he's fighting at 145. Then that would be bantam, which